See, the thing is, in order to practice Vedic meditation, we sit comfortably in a chair, we close our eyes, we use our Bija mantra that we were given by our Vedic meditation qualified instructor, and we practice morning and evening in a very strategic fashion. Now, in between our 20-minute twice-a-day sessions, we do all kinds of things. We watch TV, we go running, or we laze around, or we go to work, we deal with demands, we have relationships, we have emotions, we have all kinds of things going on. And none of those things are obstacles to our practice of Vedic meditation. When it's time to do our VM, we sit down in the chair and do it. And it's simple. So if amongst all those other things that we're doing in between meditation sessions, we're also practicing something with our mind or doing something, like whatever it is we're doing with our mind, it won't make any difference to this practice. This practice cannot be damaged by anything, and this practice cannot bring damage to anything else that we want to do. But where we could run into some difficulties and complications is if during our 20 minutes of Vedic meditation, we begin to blend into it things from other kinds of sources, things which don't belong in the realm of the experience of Vedic meditation. Then we're polluting our meditation at that time with those other things. And then, in fact, what we've decided to do is not practice Vedic meditation, because Vedic meditation done is this simple, natural, innocent, pure, easy, frictionless practice that it cannot be aided by anything. You might want to add something to it, but if you add anything to it, it's like you have pure, clear drinking water from the spring, and you want to add some special fizzy flavor to it or something like that. It's no longer pure, clear drinking water from the spring. It's pure, clear drinking water that's turned into fizzy stuff. And it's not the same spring water that you originally had. So blending things into our practice itself, it's going to make Vedic meditation no longer Vedic meditation. So we want to keep our practice pure, 20 minutes twice a day. Other things you do, maybe somebody tells you do this hypnosis thing or do this mood-making thing or do this other kind of, sit around convincing yourself of things, with your eyes closed. It's the same as watching TV or going to work or doing kind of, things that are unrelated really to the goal of Vedic meditation. But if you want to spend your time on that, then there's no harm, as long as every day, twice a day, you practice this technique. Now, what we found is that as a result of practicing Vedic meditation, if you decide after meditating that you want to watch some show on television, that watching a show on television becomes much more delightful than it was prior to learning to meditate. Likewise, if you have some other practice from some other source, and you've practiced your Vedic meditation and you do that, that thing's going to feel good. If you practice Vedic meditation and you eat food, then the food tastes better after practicing Vedic meditation. If you practice Vedic meditation and you do some other kind of mental technique or something, that thing is going to feel really good. And so we don't want to lose sight of what it is we're giving credit. We're giving credit to our increasing consciousness state that's coming directly from the daily release of stress and the awakening of that broad, fullest potential of the inner self. And if you apply that to anything else that you do, it's going to make that thing much, much better. But we don't say, I practice Vedic meditation and ate, potato chips, and the potato chips tasted so good, it must be the potato chips that are responsible for my growing consciousness state. It's not. They're just feeling better, tasting better because you meditate. Like that, you go off and learn something, this thing, that thing, whatever, and you practice your Vedic meditation, your consciousness state is improved. Doing that thing is not what's doing it. It's practicing Vedic meditation that's doing it. And so we need to be very clear in our dedication to the regular proven method that is actually expanding the consciousness and making things better. Now, as regards, is it necessary to go off and do anything else? All these other practices are designed to generate what it is they're designed for. So, other meditation techniques, other spiritual practices work exactly in aid of whatever the mechanics of those techniques are designed to do. None of them either espouses that they're designed to awaken enlightenment in you and cosmic consciousness or release your stress, nor are their mechanics designed to do any of those things. It's all to do with thinking things or making a mood about something, or, here's one way of thinking about a thing, there's another way of thinking about a thing, or, let's get some help from, some forces of nature and bring those forces of nature into your life and so on and so forth. What we're teaching in Vedic meditation is that at your baseline, you, the experiencer, are the totality itself. And so, you apply that awareness to anything in the outside world, that thing in the outside world is going to be responsive to you. But, are all these other practices necessary? And it might be, fun to do something like that, to have a little bit of fun with it or whatever. But when we're serious about our full development of our potential, then we need to divide our life into priorities. What's our first priority? Maximum attention and time and dedication we spend on that. What's our second priority? Less time than that we spend on that. Third priority, and so on and so forth. So this is all a question about priorities. And when we have the absolute supreme knowledge that brings about the pinnacle of human experience, all these other things that ordinarily would be a waste of time, they might seem to be a little bit gold dusted by our meditation practice. That's okay, but we don't give them credit for anything like that. They weren't designed to do what Vedic meditation clearly does. And so we just need to pay attention to those kinds of details.